Hi, my name is Jim Green, and I'm a gunsmith. The name of my shop is GunWorks, and I'm located in down East Main, the town of Harrington. I'm a Gulf War veteran. I was in the Marine Corps for a little over a decade. We came back from the Persian Gulf War, and the very first place we landed once we got back into Maine was the Bangor Airport. We got in, I think it was probably 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and run into a lot of troop greeters. That kind of left an impression in my mind, and over the years I thought about possibly coming back to visit Maine. So about 8 years ago I came back up just to visit for the summer and ended up staying. Since I've been here, I've worked for Acadian National Park Service, working down there for those guys. I've drove 18-wheelers. I've worked for the city of Bangor Public Works, running their heavy equipment, machinery, paving sidewalks and roads. I've also worked as a sternman on a lobster boat. I was getting pretty discouraged and decided it was maybe time to start my own business. So I contacted Mike Perkins, who put me in touch with the VA Voc Rehab Center down in Togus, Maine. And I got started on it. I did a little bit of research. I'd never had a business before, didn't have a clue what was going to be involved in starting a business. So what I did is I went on the internet, and never having been a computer type person before, I did some research on how to write a business plan. Well, I worked on this for a while until it got to the point where I thought I was done. The next step was the VA told me I had to go see the Small Business Administration here in Maine. That's how I met a lady in Machias called Ruth Cash Smith. Pretty nice lady. I remember the first time I ever met her, I walked in her office after I had an appointment with her. We sat down, I showed her what I had. So she looked it over pretty good and said, well, you're not quite where you need to be yet. I think Mrs. Cash Smith could probably tell you the number of times I'd just get absolutely frustrated. Running a small business is something I've never done before. There's really no place that you can really get a good idea of what all it's going to entail. Now sure, I took some online courses that were recommended to me, but it didn't really tell me all of the pitfalls that I was going to be bumping into. Miss Cash Smith says I'm a bootstrap entrepreneur. I don't have any outstanding debt right now. The reason being is because I don't buy tools or equipment unless I can afford to pay cash for them. And that's been a kind of a struggle because I found myself needing items that I can't afford, and I have to make do with what I've got until I can afford to buy what I need. One of the things that's really kept me going is what I learned in the Marine Corps as an NCO. I used to be in charge of an artillery crew. In fact, I went through combat with 14 Marines, a 7-ton howitzer, and a couple of 5-ton trucks. One of the greatest things that I learned from being in the Marine Corps was you always have to improvise, adapt, and overcome. That's something I try to apply every day in my life as a civilian now. So I sat down and started making YouTube videos. Well, I got to watching some of the YouTube videos on the internet that other people were making. I said, you know, most of these are kind of goofy. Most of these are kind of silly and not really on the professional side. How can I make this medium work for me as advertising? So I decided what I was going to do is I was going to start showing people how to disassemble their own guns for a good thorough clean. The way that benefits me is, and I'm not giving away any of my secrets, but the way that benefits me is this. A person who sees that video says, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. Right now I have about 70 videos on YouTube, and I'm just under 1 million followers right now. This actually has taken off and gone far beyond any of my expectations. I've had customers as far away as Alaska, California, Texas, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, California, well, I already mentioned California, South Carolina. I get most of my business now actually comes from out of state, and it's been mostly because of YouTube. Another way that advertising through social media has really been a big benefit for my shop is this. I got a call May of 2012 this year from a company in New York City called Bray Entertainment. And the very first thing is the lady introduces herself on the phone, and she said, well, we're going to be filming a new TV show. We'd like for you to be involved. And I thought, well, okay, where did you hear about me? My YouTube videos, of course, she says. My impression was they had a few items they wanted me to repair or maybe do some refurbishing work too. Actually, it turns out they wanted me to be on the TV show itself. Okay. So my reaction to that was I just kind of laughed and said, okay, this is a joke, and I hung the phone up. So the lady About 5 minutes goes by and the lady calls me back. She goes, "What happened?" I said, "I'm sorry, I thought that was a joke, so I hung up the phone." "No, we're pretty serious." So we talked a few minutes on the phone. She sent me an email with a link to their website, and I clicked on it and took a look at it. Well, it turns out Bray Entertainment is the company that actually started the TV show called Pawn Stars. They split off from that and started their own production company, and they hired a guy named Sean Rich, who used to be one of the stars of the show Pawn Stars, and now he's on this show. So we have a deal worked out right now. We've already filmed 16 episodes this year. They'll be airing the 23rd of January on the National Geographic Channel. Well, that has pretty much led to other opportunities for me. I'm going to the SHOT Show in January of 2013 coming up. I'm going out there. I'm going to be talking to a guy named Larry Weeks, who's the PR man for a company called Brownells. Brownells, as you see, is one of my gunsmith suppliers. I buy most of my tools and equipment from Brownells. Well, imagine my surprise when now Brownells is talking to me about possibly filming some commercials for them. And I'm not sure where this is going to end. I mean, I'm not rolling in the dough right now, but things are starting to definitely pick up. I've actually gotten enough business where I was able to expand my shop. I'm now double in size what I originally was. I'm starting to get endorsement deals in the works that are being negotiated. This TV show is going to be like a national TV syndicate, you know, National Geographic. It's going to be nationwide. So people who watch that show and are going to see me are going to naturally start looking me up on the internet. And what's the first thing they're going to see? All my videos from Down East GunWorks. They're going to see that I'm a serious gunsmith. I guess in closing, I'll just say, my name is Jim Green. I'm a gunsmith and a veteran, and that's my story.